Hi, how are ya? It's your Auntie Midori again. Today in BDSM, Auntie Midori's BDSM Basics. Let me touch a bit on what negotiation is. People talk about negotiation, and I know I don't like the word because it sounds so damn dry. It essentially comes down to little bit of pre-play planning. So you might say, well, if it's going to be pre-play planning, doesn't it take the surprise out and doesn't it take the hot away? No, it doesn't. You know what it does is it matches your expectations. It may increase the potential for satisfaction and joy and reduce the potential for the meh and the blah and the horribles, right? So whether you call it a negotiation or whether you want to call it a planning or whether you want to say, let's just talk a little about what we want to do, you can use this as a flirtation and as a way to get excitements up. I'll talk and write in other venues and opportunities about the details of what we negotiate about, but some basics are just getting the expectations together. Like, hey, do you want to play with me? When do you want to play with me? How do we want to play? And then there's a whole lot of stuff that we can explore in that. Who leads the negotiation? Well, you don't have to have anyone leading it, and it's mutual. Both sides get to speak up their wants and their not wants and their things they don't want and things they don't want tonight, and about body and where we're at and what kind of mood we want to get into. Okay. Safe word. I have a little talk about safe word. And yeah, so planning, negotiating. Sometimes it's in great detail, like planning the menu of an exquisite feast. Sometimes it's in very slight and spur of the moment, like, hey, let's make a cheese sandwich. Okay. Sometimes all parties go into great detail in the planning. Sometimes one person is more responsible in the detail, but everybody collaborates in the agreement of this. Okay? So share in the pre-play planning and let's maximize our shared joy. Now, here are some basic good questions to ask of yourself first, and then to be able to collaborate this with the other. And again, check out my other resources for greater detail, because there's an entire lifetime of pleasurable exploration in negotiation. But at the most basic, do you want to play with me right now? What shall we do? Who's topping and who's bottoming? And how do we want to feel on when it's this thing we want to do? What do you look like and sound like when it's good for you? What do you look like and sound like when it's not good for you? What do I look like and sound like when it's not good for me? And what do I look like and sound like when it is good for me? How are you going to let me know when you're having a good time? Because, sometimes saying, no, no, is a lot of fun, depending on the games we play. So how are you going to let me know when it's not really not good for you? And how are you going to let me know when it's good for you? And here's how I'm going to let you know when it's good for me and when it's not good for me. This is what's going on with my body today. What's going on with your body? And then, of course, there's the safer sex talk. If sex and sexy touch and sexy time is on the table, it might not be, in which case you might want to talk about what sex means. Okay? Because if I thought that something was okay because I interpreted the word sex in one way, but it wasn't for you, it would not be good. Okay. And what's your hard limits for today and my hard limit for today? And that could include something practical like, look, I need to be done and out of here by 9 o'clock because my babysitter wraps up at 10 and I need to be home by then. It could be something simple like that too. Hard limits for today, for you, for me. Okay. And aftercare for you, aftercare for me. Check out my aftercare section for that. And what kind of mood do we want to go to? What do I mean by mood? It could be words like fun, funny, rough, devouring, slow and chill and mellow. And then, hey, want to do this? So the basics of negotiation, what it's for, and it's all about maximizing pleasure and getting on the same sheet of music of expectations. Can you do that for kinky sex? Absolutely. Can you do this, have a negotiation for non-kinky vanilla sex? Heck yeah. And make it a flirtation. All right, see you in another episode.